Are we doing an April Fool's thing? No, the boss is gonna do like this. The boss is gonna finish the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog tomorrow. We never really have any April Fool's jokes. Not anybody wants to see. I mean, if we have Sonic, oh my god, please, please, look at Sonic. Don't look at us. Don't look at the Bugsies who are actually a part of this channel. Been a part of this channel for fucking years. Since this fucking channel has began, which really is weird before we started even becoming a thing. But we'll always get the stray comment that goes, well, yeah, no. I don't even know what this is. I'll look at the boss's videos and be like, why are you saying this? Even though we're not looking at the actual date because we're a bunch of people that can't... We're a bunch of people that can't even look at a date. We can't be asked to look at the freaking description. Or like they'll be looking at us and thinking they're like, oh my god, why these people are not here? Like, you know, we break the fourth wall, and like even the boss gets tired of you motherfuckers calling him schizophrenic just because he's like doing our voices. Like, it gets really fucking... let me just tell you this. It really gets fucking annoying because, like, hey, person who just comments on my video and doesn't make a video. What are you doing with your life? I'm like, what are you doing with your life while you're telling me how to do my thing? How would you actually make a video? No. How would you make a storyline, right? Work on all this other stuff you're doing in the background. Get ready to release that. And still try to be consistent. Because let me tell you. Y'all don't even know my fucking master plan, man. I swear to God. But with that said, it's just like, yeah, I don't have really an April Fool's Day thing. Wanted to tell you that up front. There's not gonna be, oh, I'm gonna do the stream and then something else is gonna happen and we're gonna be railroaded by something or like Megalo's gonna teach you German. You're gonna think it's Murder with Sonic and Megalo's gonna teach you German. I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen, folks. As much as I would love that kind of, you know, just to be kind of like a subversive thing because you guys would expect me to like do some like weird shit. Yeah, not really. It's not really happening. But to be quite honest, I am kind of surprised that Sega decided to do this. And in a weird way, they're opening up the world of Sonic. You know what I mean? See, but I did subvert it. Y'all thought I was gonna just do a rant. Nah. But I'm not gonna really announce anything. Because it'll be seen as a joke. And I know you guys want this big ass like. I know you guys want this like big ass like nose hole bar like April Fool's joke, but I'm not gonna do it. I was actually gonna do like a video where the demo man from the Divergent canon that my characters are in was gonna talk about his day, and it was gonna be like a hour-long thing where he just fucking just talks about his life and how he's in living fear of like the Bugsy Council bearing down on him, and it just gets more sad, more sad and depressing. And I was like, it's not really funny. It's just me being fucking morbid. Even though, like, most of my old stories used to get fucking just morbid. You know, that's what happens when you make stories when you're a teenager. You just say, fuck it, let's get morbid and weird. But let's let's go somewhere a little bit more regular, eh? I know some of you don't really like the Black Void. I know some people are like, but Bugsy, we can't like put you in the background when we're doing something and listen to you because we don't got the attention span of like we got the attention span of fucking worms. And I'm not talking about all of you. I'm talking about some of you that just stumble onto these videos. Like y'all motherfuckers who stumble onto these videos, I just be like, okay, wow. You stumble on my video, ask me what's going on, and just be like, I remember one dude was like, oh, well, I'm not even gonna, this is cringe. Let me tell you something. Bro, everything we do on here, not just me, not just everybody else, everything we do is cringe when you think about it. It's cringe to somebody else. And you know why that is? Because we literally are sharing ourselves when we make these videos. Every last one of us. Well, not really the people that are constantly doing drama and constantly calling each other out. You guys are cringe in a whole different way because you guys are grown-ass people fighting like children on Twitter and whatnot, and I don't have literal time for any of you because there ain't enough hours in the day to talk about how childish you all are. Like literally, I can make a bunch of videos talking about how many people on YouTube that on Twitter and YouTube that call each other out and how childish they are, or how many SJWs and anti-SJWs basically feed off each other because y'all need each other. What I'm saying is, y'all can't quit each other, and I've said numerous times that simple fact. I'm more of a dude who, nowadays, pretty much focuses on what makes me happy and what makes the little audience that I have happy. You know, I ain't out here trying to expose a motherfucker. I'm not out here trying to be I'm not out here trying to be the next big commentary channel. I'm just here making videos. And I know for some people, but you're irrelevant. You don't do the things that other people like to do because I got a short attention span of a fucking goldfish, and you're not doing any of that like that weird TikTok-y shit that everybody else does. Oh, because I'm not gonna cow down to like I'm not gonna cow down to every fucking trend. Sorry if my videos are so boring and they're droning on and on and on. Did you guys know? Like, when I did that one video about, like, how I think Pygmalion is going to be 10 times better than character AI. I love Pygmalion, but the fact of the matter is, you gotta go through collab to get through it. You can't really, and I'm on a lot of, like, GPU points or whatever it is. So, literally, I can't even enjoy Pygmalion with Tavern AI. I would like it if it could run without collab, but who knows? But either way, and then just all those people are like, oh, yes, Cap, this motherfucker's cracked out. He's high. I'm like, oh, it's high because I actually want to talk about something I actually want to talk about, rather than, like, I don't know what you're expecting. Like, seriously. And the person that said it was serious cope, I'm just like, it's cope because I want to talk about the fucking shit I want. You freaking clicked onto my freaking post and basically saying it's cope. Motherfucker, how would y'all do some videos Oh no, wait, you can't because you guys got no nuts. You guys got no stones. You got no cojones. But you're asking me. You're asking me that my shit is coke. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. People who judge others but don't want to stand up themselves, they're the real chickens. Like, dude, I've been seeing there used to be so many YouTubers that would clown on me or to make me try to make me feel bad, but they haven't done a single video. But they always feel the need to be, jumping on everybody else. Like my Thundercats Roar thing was like a huge ass joke, and nobody got on it. No one got that because quite literally they're idiots. And one dude, what was his name? Falcon? He was like, no, go back to Steven Universe. I'm like, could you shut the fuck up, you stupid motherfucker? Sitting there not even making videos, but you got like two, at the time he had like two things on his favorite list. I'm like, bro, I ain't even mad. I'm just sad that you can't even do videos your goddamn self. Like, I've seen so many people just going out of their way to make other YouTubers feel bad because they think. Because I've seen so many dudes go after Jane Animation. Even Daft Penis himself. And all these other motherfuckers. I just sit there and laugh at every last one of them because I'm like, oh, you idiots don't even know what YouTube's about anymore, do you? Sad for y'all. That's why y'all idiots burn out in the long run. While people like me, we can walk away from like a week and still keep going. Because as long as you get them with something that you know your audience will like, some people will watch or binge watch. Sure, you could say Bugsy, but you kind of rely on Sonic a little bit. A little. To pull people in. I'm not clickbaiting anybody. I'm not saying, I hate Sonic. Why? Why am I tethered to Sonic? Sometimes it can be a curse. Other times it can be a blessing. And you know what? I wouldn't change my channel for anything. Sure, maybe I wish that certain people watch more of the stuff that I do that isn't Sonic related. And yeah, I may lament it at time to time. But hey, that's my YouTube career. And like at least on my website, I can do whatever the fuck I want and don't have to worry about analytics too heavily. Like YouTube is a confined pin. But my website is a fucking sandbox for which I do a lot of things in. And don't get me wrong, I think the only reason I stay on YouTube is because, honestly, despite all of its problems, I care about YouTube. I wish it could be better. I wish it could kind of be back all the way it was in the old days sometimes. Not the stuff that was like really horrible, because there were a lot of horrible things in old YouTube. I know a lot of us like to romanticize how good old YouTube was, but there's some bad shit too. But, my point is that, the only reason I get so critical of YouTube is because I actually still give a shit. I want it to be even better than it was in the old days. But we got so many people just like either giving people freaking updates they don't want, taking away the dislike button, so we gotta get like a freaking plug-in so we can see the dislikes again. it's just, it really gets on my nerves. What also gets on my nerves is that various publishers are like, no, we must take away the Internet Archive from everybody, and I'm like, why? God dang, people are finding more lost media over there because there's no other place to dump all that stuff. So other people can see it, download it, do it up. Most YouTubers that have like stuff that goes beyond YouTube COS, they put over there because it's the only way they can do it. Hell, I'm thinking of releasing like a little riff track of like doing like a mock off riff track on my Internet Archive, on my account of Internet Archive, where it could be safe. And the thing is, it'd just be audio. So you'd actually have to watch the actual show that I'm doing. But, other than that, I really dig doing YouTube nowadays because now I don't have to show my face. All I gotta do is just talk, have some visuals around, or talk and like, I don't know, like, I don't know, like put on. I don't know, like put on or put on something. I'm very content with everything I have. You know, I was a kid that didn't really get to do a lot because of the physical disability I had, but I made up for that by being a pretty good gamer throughout the years. This room is a testament of all the days I used to spend just kind of while away the hours. All the days I spent just watching TV and just having fun. Some people be like, well, why do you like this room so much? Because it's a room I wish I had when I was a kid. Think about it. Every console I ever could have wanted back then. Coupled with like movies that I wish I had back then, and some newer stuff just to throw in because I didn't want to just shove everything with older things I actually like. And old things that I discovered that I actually enjoy. Yeah, I'm always gonna talk about Soccer Wars. Get used to it. And Future Funk. That's always gonna be a part. Future Funk and Vaporwave is always gonna be a thing. And I may lament at times about this blue hedgehog that takes the spotlight from other Sega freaking franchises, but I love this blue hedgehog. And you know what else I love? This thing right here. Even though Hussey, to me, really is kind of nowadays, like I always say to my friends, the Hussey who oversaw Homestuck 2 wasn't the same Hussey who literally who constantly updated Homestuck. I know there's a big sentiment of like, well, fuck Hussey. Fuck Hussey because we're the ones making up the troll stuff and he didn't. But I'm still gonna appreciate Hussey for what he actually did. Not Homestuck 2, but Homestuck. For all the creativity it brought. For basically giving me something to read, and me getting engrossed into it to the point where I was like, I needed to cut it out, and I never finished it. And then when I found out it ended, I was like, oh man, I missed out on so much after that. To the point where I'm back to being a straight up Homestuck fan. I know sometimes people like, I don't want to read Homestuck. I remember this dude back when I was still in the Clownfish server called Dracula. I don't even want to know why you're talking about Homestuck, or like, I just don't care because it's too long. And I was trying to talk about it to everybody else. Like, I don't care. It's too long. I'm like, I get that, but like, I want to talk about it. It's like, dude, I get it. You guys think you think the Homestuck fandom is fucking annoying, but like, you only hear that because you heard the one person that got hit with buckets, and the people who did that, they're fucked up for that. But like, none of you actually even tried to actually read the goddamn thing. It's like, you see a bunch of Homestuck art and you go, oh my god, hide your children, I don't know what this is, these trolls, oh my god. I'm like, bro, the trolls, calm the fuck down. And I'm just sitting here. And then there are like people within the fandom, like the people who don't like take back canon, making all this stuff that they said in the freaking Discord server. Who like is not like, I looked at it, it ain't even in the comic yet, so maybe they're trolling people. But like, then we got a bunch of people that are like, but they're doing it. The trolls have drug references. I'm like, they've always had drug references. Are you fucking high? Would explain why. That person that made that video, I was like, and she's like, I'm biased, but I know I'm biased. I'm like, so that basically makes your whole argument invalid because you're actually coming from a place of deep bias, while it's still trying to make your argument work. By saying you're biased, your argument falls to pieces so quickly. Some people don't know this because they were never like in logic and rhetoric in high school, but I was. So that basically just says you just wasted everybody's time, and your arguments really don't have a leg to stand on because you're more into the post-canon shit anyway, and because someone was doing it differently, you didn't like it. But you pulled out the other explanations to really show why you don't like it, but it really just shows that you're biased, so most of your argument is invalid simply because, and since I can't really find any proof for them actually putting it in the comic, and maybe these guys are just trolling you in a long con kind of way, pretty much says to me that they got you. And I like, trust me, they're like on both sides fighting over this, and I was just like, bro, it's a fucking comic that, this is fucking fan webcomic in a sea of so many. So what if they are doing it? Okay. I think we should be talking about how they keep banning people from their freaking Discord. That's more important than freaking trolls, like other trolls being in and stuff like that. But the trollers and burgers, Gamzee has a big walking Juggalo 420 reference. What the fuck, man? Mulin freaking takes the catnip. I think Mulin's have a Mulin or Nepotis's name pretty much kind of goes synonymously with catnip or something like that. The whole comic has little 420 Blazing references. Before 420 Blazing was even that big. Like, are you guys like Funk McLovin who forgets like every fundamental thing that's in Homestuck? Because I think some of you do. Just wanting to say that. I can't believe people were Also, I found out Pastor Quest people were tripping out that Roxy had curls in Pastor Quest, making her black coated. I'm like, she has curls. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, Jesus. Y'all looking too deep in a fucking character design that was probably just there for stylized things. I mean, sometimes Jane's depicted skinny or fat. Then does that mean they're fat shaming? Hell no. Like, Jesus. I love the fandom, but sometimes there are parts of the fandom that just pick on the most stupidest things in the world. Get, like, Jesus. And I've looked at Homestuck alternate universe. I may not totally agree with Funk all the time, but it's okay. It's not my cup of tea. I'll try to watch it again. It's not really just it don't work. It don't work for me, and that's okay. Doesn't mean I'm a this or that just because I don't like something. Some people label that so quickly. I'm just like, bro. I wish I could continue my my post story content, but like I gotta beat that hacking mini game, and I can't do it. I can't do it, and even if I do, I'm doing it on screen. I'm just gonna say what happened in the next one and be like, this is what happened. There it is. But yeah, other than that, other than that, you know, other than that, I just gotta say, despite all the stuff I said about the fandom sometimes, I still love it. Because, some of us may talk about dumbass things, but when we come together, when it's 4:15, man, we come together and I do like a little special. It's so fun. And you guys, I gotta be honest. Even though some of the fandom gets on my nerves, some of you are the most loving and nice people I've ever had the fortune to fucking know. And I want you to know that. I may not agree with all of you, but I respect every last one of you, including you, Funk. Even though sometimes I really, really question some of your freaking, not the Vriska one. I don't question that one. But the Jane one, mostly. Bits and pieces of the Roxy one, technically. But pretty much only the Jane one, because the Jane one has the biggest glaring omission, but that's it. And I know some people, and some people will probably be like, well, Bugsy, that makes you transphobic. Now, bro, let me tell you something. Literally, I think trans people who don't try to act like dicks to other people, those are the people I fucking dig. But I hate the people who are like going after the people who are playing Hogwarts Legacy and they ain't even trans. And the people who are trans are like, what the fuck, man? You don't speak for us. Those people I'll defend till my dying breath. But other people who act like dicks just for the sake of it, I ain't never gonna see eye to eye with those idiots. Because if you choose to act like an idiot, I'm not gonna fucking defend you, or not. I'm not gonna try. Sometimes, you know, and also, well, I'm still here because this is just another Bugsy Corner video. To be honest, disguise was and technically was disguised as another video that was technically my low key April Fool's joke. But honestly, I love what I do on YouTube, and I love what I do on my website. I love interacting with you guys. I know sometimes I may get a little angry at a lot of you. Well, mostly the people who deserve it. But I don't hate every last one of you. I don't even hate the people who literally just look at my old videos and don't look at the date, even though it irks the fuck out of me. People, like, literally, take a look. If it says 3 to 4 years ago, I'm probably changed on that stance. Except for the Gex Up shit. That's never gonna change. Especially what I had to deal with last night. That shit, I blame solely on fucking Gex Up. And he, and if he ever comes back, he can basically take it over me. Okay? Because, like, legit, that's what pisses me off even. Because that whole thing I had to go with one of my friends who literally is so... I was trying to help him, and he's so fucking, like, traumatized and got so much PTSD. There's really nothing I can do to help him. And that's a hard pill for me to admit, all my life, my dad taught me to never really give up. And to an extent, I almost felt like I did give up. But then I remembered an old saying. Knowing when you're beat, knowing when you're beat, and cutting your losses, right? That doesn't mean you give up. That just means you did all you could do, and metaphorically, you gotta know when to walk away and pick and choose your battles. Like I did last night. Me and my friend Nitwit had to make a very difficult choice that night. And we did what we did. Am I mad about that? Am I mad about that? A little bit, because I knew that I couldn't really help him. But I thought I could. And I'm not gonna name names, but I want this person to know wholeheartedly that I do still consider them a friend, but I feel that they need to chill, and they need to go to a professional that can help them deal with some of this trauma that Gex Up left them. Because they're never going to be fully free of this man if they don't try to get some help. That's how I feel. I know that, like, sometimes, I'm this goofball, that'd be making the jokes, that'd be making references. Not like my other friend could actually even see me do that, because, like, he once saw me, when I was trying to help him out and show him some stuff. He's like, not relevancy. And back then I took that as, like, a kind of slight to me, trying to help him, like, Like his way of saying buzz off. But now I know they just seem he probably feels like he probably feels like all this, me basically kind of, metaphorically putting him in the waiting pool is not really gonna help him. I mean, you don't help a freaking person that has an aversion to water by sticking them in the kiddie pool, do you? They'll have PTSD no matter what. So what you need to do is tell that man to get some help, and hopefully he'll listen. But I don't know. It's out of my hands. What he decides to do, it's up to him now. I know. I promised I wouldn't get this. I promised I wouldn't get so introspective this year. That was kind of like one of my New Year's resolutions. Because y'all don't want to hear me get all wistful and start, wistful and shit. But, I don't know. I guess as old as I keep getting older, that wistfulness is still going to be a part of me. The comedy is always going to be a part of me, too. But that wistfulness will always come. Because it's always just me reflecting on times gone by, on people I wish I could have helped, but knowing that I know that I couldn't. Bunch of shit. And that's always going to be a thing. But, at the same time, you hope that the next person you talk to, or the next person that truly needs you, you're able to give them either a shoulder to cry on, or helpful advice, or just being there for them. Because I tell you folks, being there for your friends is enough, even if you don't think so. But sometimes you gotta let go of some people. Not because you think they're toxic, but you know that you can't do any good for them as they are. And you hope that they get better. And you hope that you can tell them, honestly tell them, that despite everything that happened last night, I still consider you a friend. And I may have gotten a little frustrated, but quite honestly, that's me being frustrated at myself. Thinking that you were ready to just, socialize. That's on me. You got a long road to go, and I feel like wherever you go, I won't be able to really follow. But I hope you do better. That's what I hope. Also, shifting gears for a minute, I've been watching Centaur World. I'm on the last episode. I'm watching with my girlfriend Annie, and yeah, it's good, and it just the last episode is at 8, and I don't think it just ends in a satisfying way. So there's gonna be a lot of things, because I think there was more to it, but it got canceled or something. So I'm just like, ugh. At some point, I'm gonna talk about Netflix doing what they did on a website or something. Because honestly, there's some good shows that they just threw to the wayside, and then just and there's this other thing that I think AMC made called Chronicle or whatever. And that was a good thing, and now, most people are like, We hope that the independently animated shows will save us all, and I think that they will, to an extent. These may might give the other bigger networks and streaming services the kick in the ass that they need the most. That will say like, hey, you know, motherfucker, we need, well, y'all need to step up your game because you're losing to the the independently animated projects and shows. But hey, man, I'm just prowling on. Wouldn't be the first time. I mean, this is Bugsy Corner. But I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
You watching the Big 3 Bucks Network?
Yeah. Okay.
You watching the Big 3 Bucks Network?
Yeah. Okay.